Hello. So I have been working as a channel since I was 17, and I had a near-death experience. And I've always often seen things before they happen.
Let's give that a new label, because it certainly set something off important for you. So rather than call it a near-death experience, let's call it a more life experience.
Yes.
I had a brush with pure life.
Yes.
And when I came back, I was more alive than I'd ever been before, because during that brush with pure life, I was influenced to it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, with that experience, there was a dissolving of my idea of time, because I saw things before they happened, and then when they happened, I felt like I was just being reeled into them.
Well, you caught a glimpse of this vibrational reality that we're talking about, where everything that you want is there and has become, and in your non-physical, more life state, you were able to see it. And so you did something so wonderful. We've been offering vibration to Esther for years so that she could find some words to bridge this gap, because this is the thing that we would so like everyone to understand, that everything is perceptual, first of all, and that once something has been created vibrationally, that the amount of time that it takes to manifest has only to do with focus. It doesn't have to do with the things that humans think that it has to do with. And so you said something about it feels that you're being reeled into it. You saw it and now you're being reeled into it.
Yes, it's like I saw, without focusing hard on it, that I would be sitting here. And so when you pointed to me, it felt like there's a hum where the vision and the present became one thing.
The words that Esther's been finding for a while is that the vibrational reality is what is now, and that everything that is currently manifested is old news. It's really past tense, because all of the power is in what is becoming. But humans lag behind in that process, because you are enamored with what you can see and hear and smell and taste and touch. So your reality is so important to you. You train yourself to observe the reality when the reality is really over here. But you say, but here I can see. In this reality, I can see and hear and smell and taste and touch. And over there, I can't. And we say, well, then use some other senses. Feel it. Feel the satisfaction of it. Feel it. Well, we get it. It's not as good as what's fleshed out. Esther says on just about a daily basis, when something else wonderful happens in her life, I so love manifestations. I so love manifestations. And we want you to see a constant meeting place. What's there? Let us put it to you this way. What's in your vortex that you caught a glimpse of, as long as you're in this physical body, it will never all come to fruition simultaneously, nor would you want it to. Talk about an overwhelming experience. But as it comes incrementally, as you meet it, as you feel it, and then as you enjoy witnessing these vibrations turning to the things of your life experience, that's what you came for. That's what you came for.
Driving last night, as I was consciously raising my frequency, it was like a hole opened up in the traffic.
Yeah.
So when I do work as a channel, so to speak, and there's access to the unlimited, when I come back as myself, when I'm stepping out of that, sometimes my human life seems a little silly or frivolous because I touched something that was non-local in a way.
Well, it's all right. It might feel slower and it might feel less focused. And really, you don't have to come back as much as you think you have to come back.
That's what I've been wondering, because I've been feeling more and more when I go into a session that...
You see, this idea of channeling, Esther never used the words because it meant so many things that what she does isn't. Yes. But she always felt an aversion to what she thought people thought that it was. And for a while, Jerry used to tease, he'd say, because the gatherings were small and Esther would be mingling and someone would be asking her a question on the segment of refreshment, and she would be doing her best to answer it, and Jerry would be standing behind going, ask Abraham. And then he would tell Esther, you need a sign that says Esther, and then turn it over and it says Abraham, so that people would know who they're talking to, because you look so much alike.
Sometimes people come up to me after something like that and they get into specifics and I don't know what they're talking about.
Well, here's the most important thing that we want to say to you about all of this is that what you're doing, what Esther's doing, by deliberately, Esther did it through meditation, quieting her mind so that her vibration could rise to the equivalency of Abraham, so that there was no separation between the vibration of Abraham and the vibration of Esther, so that a smooth translation of knowing or concepts could move from our mind to her well-chosen description. So for a while, Esther felt sort of like a freak. She made Jerry promise he wouldn't tell anyone she was doing it, because Esther didn't understand that everyone can do it at that time. Everyone is an extension of source energy. And so it really is just a matter of not doing that thing you do that keeps your vacuum cleaner from being plugged in, not holding the cork under the water. When you stop doing that thing, your vibration will rise. And of course, there are things you can do to promote that deliberately, but you come as an extension of source energy. You never intended to be you proving yourself to this. You never intended to come out of that and then be dense and dumb. You intended to align with it and receive the power and the clarity of it and to utilize it in a satisfying way in your life experience. You see what we're getting at?
Yes. What's interesting is I'm also an actor, and I always felt that I was channeling when I worked, and I've been concerned when I've done, these are just words, but a session with someone, that eventually whatever that was speaking would eclipse my normal self. But what I'm getting from what you're saying is that there's an equalizing that's taking place.
Those are really good words. You use the word balance in your very opening words to us. Yes, that's what it is.
It's very pleasurable.
Well, it's step 1, step 2, step 3, 4, 5. You ask, source answers, and you find a way to come into alignment with it. And when you do, then the whole of you is here. The whole of you is in that receiving mode, receiving that inspiration, receiving that impulse. That's what you intended. But humans, you told stories to one another through religions mostly that went like this: you're born and you're bad as soon as you're born. And source is good, and good source sent bad you here. Now, most of you, if you were thinking, would go, what? How could good source do that? But that's the story that you told. A lot of you told that story, and you continue to tell that story. And so then you accomplish this very clear, you did it on purpose, separation between source, which is good, and you who are a sinner, who are now here to prove worthiness to be received back into that. So right away, you've caused this big separation, and you don't even expect to receive guidance on a moment-to-moment basis. Hopefully you just save it for the big stuff. So when things really get bad and things are at their very worst, you get on your knees and you ask for connection, which is not even possible because you haven't been practicing it, and it's sure not going to happen when you're in your worst state of being. And so now you come along and you understand that, no, that's not what it's all about. Oh, it's pure positive energy. And I focused into this physical environment for the purpose of the expansion and the evolution of all good things, to live joyously and happily ever after. And my connection to source, my God force, we call it your inner being, is there with you all day, every day, aware of what's going on with you and always offering guidance, always offering broadest of perspectives.
May I share one
Yes.
small thing? Last night, someone who is employing me shared what she projected would be bad news for me. And I felt it as nothing more than a little piece of sand in my oyster that was enlarging my pearl. And I thought, oh, this is helping me to refine my vision for what this job can be and will be.
Because that's what contrast always does. If you don't have some basis of comparison, then you have no basis of decision. And if you have no basis of decision, then you cannot be the deliberate creator of your own life experience. So everything is to your advantage. Everything. that comes to you is to your advantage.
Thank you.
Yes.